as if I'd grown up with these two women who grew up in Edinburgh. It was surreal and beautiful and strange, and as it should be. And I'd like to thank Thierry, my director, the BAC, the Arts Council, the British Council. Am I missing someone? I'm just gonna get off the stage. It's brilliant. This is weird. But right. Thank you.
Should honour. So I want you now to welcome Betty Bourne and Mark Ravenhill to receive their Fringe Award.
I'm Posh.
And I'm Beck.
This is our producer, Jeremy.
Jeremy Goldstein.
Jeremy Goldstein, remember the name, London Arts Project. We'd like to say thank you to Jeremy and to Eric from the Royal Theatre in The Hague, who's our co-producer, and to everybody who worked on the show. And the show is a tribute to Betty, who, as Joyce said, is a living legend. The show is more than just about one person. It is a tribute to a movement and hundreds and thousands of very brave men and women who brought about a very significant change in British society. And it's a change that isn't finished yet. There's still gay teenagers who are being bullied and suicides within our own country, and obviously internationally. There's a lot of work still to be done. So the story hasn't finished yet, but a lot of the changes started with Bet and particularly some of his experiences. Brave experiences, street protests, being had up in court for obstruction of the pavement. Take your hat off.
I can't.
You're a man, take your hat off.
I can't, Your Honour.
Why not?
I just can't.
Why not?
Goes with the shoes.
Thank you very much.
And on the Fringe, there is a wonderful show which gives a whole kind of new rap life to one of the key thinkers at the sort of culminating point of that Enlightenment, Charles Darwin, whose ideas about the origin of species, of course, based in scientific experimentation and research, are still controversial today. So Baba Brinkman is out there on the Fringe in the Gilded Balloon, giving a 1-hour rap about the origin of species, which has been peer-reviewed by scientists and which seeks not only to explain some of the theories behind Darwin's thinking, but also in a really sophisticated way to meet some of the opposition, to counter some of the opposition that those ideas have raised during their 150 years in the world. So please welcome Baba Brinkman with a short extract from the Rap Guide to Evolution.
So as Joyce mentioned, this show started out as a commission from a scientist who had British Council funding. And he asked me to write some raps about Darwin, and I thought that sounded like a great idea. So the first thing I did is went into my hip-hop catalog to try and find some songs that already had evolutionary themes. And one of the first ones I found is a song called I'm a African by a group called Dead Prez. And they didn't write this song about evolution, they wrote it about black nationalism and Afrocentricity. But evolution teaches us that every human being alive on the planet, including every person in this room right now, has ancestors that lived in Africa. And you can't say that about any other place on the planet, because that's where Homo sapien as a species first evolved. So I decided I'm gonna treat this song like a folk song. Even though they tried to write it as an exclusive song, they unintentionally wrote the most inclusive song in history. So we're gonna all be Africans today because we all have African ancestors. Archaeology and genetics have independently confirmed this. So, this is a call and response chorus. I go, I'm an African. And when I say I'm an African, you look in my eyes and you see that I believe it to my core. You don't be aloof. You don't go, oh yeah, clever gimmick, white boy, I get it, very funny. No, you see it's true, empirically true. And then you say, I'm an African, back to me with just as much enthusiasm because you know it's true and you feel it in your DNA. All right, you might feel uncomfortable at first, but we are all just African immigrants. The color of our skin just tells us something about how long ago our ancestors left Africa, not whether we're African. It's just a matter of degree. Everybody with me? I'm an African! Yeah, and I know what's happening. I'm an African! One slight correction. The title of the track is I'm a African. Some people are saying I'm an African. Well done on the grammar, but you have to drop that N. It's really important, because if you don't, the song becomes I'm a Nafrican. The word naf has no place in this chorus, all right? So be careful. I'm an African. All right, let's do this. Drop the beat. Yeah, Africa. I'm an African. Yeah, and I know what's happening. I'm an African. Yeah, archaeologists know what's happening. I'm an African. Yeah, geneticists know what's happening. Are you an African? Yeah, so you know what's happening. No, I wasn't born in Ghana, but Africa is my mama, because that's where my mama got her mitochondria. You can try to fight if you want to, but it's not gonna change me, because it's plain to see. Africans are my people, and if it's not plain to see, then your eyes deceive you. I'm talking primeval. The DNA in my veins tells a story that reasonable people find believable, but it might even blow you transistors. Africa is the home of our most recent common ancestors, which means human beings are all brothers and sisters. So check the massive evidence of Homo erectus and Australopithecus afarensis in the fossil record, and then try to tell me that we're not all connected. The fossil record has gaps, but no contradictions, and it complements the evidence in your chromosomes. So I came to let you know about your ancestral home. I'm an African. Yeah, and I know what's happening. I'm an African. Yeah, archaeologists know what's happening. I'm an African. Yeah, geneticists know what's happening. Are you an African? Yeah, so now you know what's happening, and everybody needs to know what's happening, because every human on this planet is African. Spread the word. Thank you.
Thank you.